in 1825, the world's first modern railway opened.
The Stockton and Darlington Railway was made by the people of the north east of England and changed the way the world travelled and traded forever.
This book is a gift from Darlington Libraries
to mark the 20th anniversary of Stockton and Darlington Railway,
in the hope that little Loco and the story how the railway began
may inspire you to be the bold, enterprising innovator of the future
and help change the world for the better.
Little Loco's Big Day!
Before the railway, heavy things went in a horse-drawn cart, but the roads were rubbish and covered in clark. Potholes and ditches, horse-pee went splatter. Bumps in the road that made your teeth clatter. Then one day all was changed.
The opening day. The big double doors of the engine shed opened. The September sun shone onto little Loco. She was new and had no friends except talented Timothy and George the genius, 2 engineers who built her. "I'm nervous," puffed little Loco. "This is an important day on the new railway and I must do my best." She let out a hoot hoot and gradually moved along the rails towards the newly built village of New Shildon.
Harold the horse jumped with fright when he heard the hooting, and birds called snipes took off like rockets. "Why, aye," cried George, loud and clear, "a locomotive is an excellent idea." "Nay," said a nag, shaking her head, "surely a horse will be better instead."
When little Loco saw crowds of people cheering and waving flags, she let her puff of surprise. From her tall black chimney, they were waiting for her. "I must show all of these people that I am a useful, hard-working engine. I've got to be more useful than a horse," she gulped. "I feel very worried."
Harold the horse was worried too. He stamped his hoofs on the ground. Stamp, stamp, stamp. If a train can carry hundreds of people and heavy coal, who want horses? He wondered. Will horses be put in a horrible home for hopeless horses? Little Loco stared at a very long row of wagons, filled to the top with coal. "Are they waiting for me? I can't pull all of those," she squeaked. The wagons grumbled. They didn't want to be pulled by a locomotive, they preferred horses.
Little Loco was astonished to see the train of wagons was even longer, a beautiful coach of lots of wagons filled with hundreds of excited people. She wailed, "This must be the longest train in the world." Little Loco was worried she might not be strong enough to pull them all.
George the genius put on his hat and climbed on the board, the train with little Loco at the front. The grumbling wagons full of excited people and coal were behind. "Away, man!" George cried. Talented Timothy climbed on board and waved his flag. "All aboard!"
Harold the horse walked in front of the train to stop it going too fast. "Bloomin' trains," he muttered, with a terrific hiss of steam, which startled poor Harold. Little Loco gathered all her strength and eased forward, pulling the wagons behind her. Her wheels slowly turned and jolted over the rails. Her machinery rattled and shook. Smoke curled from her chimney, but soon she picked up the speed and Harold galloped out of the way. The passengers sang as the countryside whizzed by.
It's a marvelous new adventure, a thrilling way to ride. It's fast enough to make you laugh until it hurts your sides. Disaster!
Wonky Wagon fell off the rails and broke a wheel. Some say he threw himself off on purpose just to stop the train. Some say he was pushed to stop him grumbling. Actually, Wonky Wagon was cross. He only wanted to be pulled by a horse. The whole train had to stop.
Talented Timothy and George the genius and lots of other people got out their wagons
They pushed and shoved. Monkey Wagon pushed and shoved, grunting and groaning. Hooray, man, gasped George. We cannae shift it.
Monkey Wagon was stuck, so they asked Harold the horse for help. Harold grumbled, useless locomotives and rubbish railways, but he soon joined in and together everyone got Monkey Wagon back on track. Perhaps horses still could be useful, Harold hoped. Perhaps horses and locomotives could be friends.
Thank you, said little Loco to Harold the horse and all of the people. I couldn't have done that without you. Harold was pleased to have helped and smiled a big toothy grin.
By the time little Loco reached Darlington, he was running out of puff. She had a long drink of water and drifted off to sleep until a musical band climbed into two wagons and their stirring music woke up little Loco.
The band played. Little Loco joined in with a hoot, hoot, hoot.
The passengers laughed and wiped away soot as Wonky Wagon ran over a man's foot.
Now little Loco was ready for the rest of her journey. People in bonnets and top hats gathered on the valley sides, waving and cheering.
Little Loco hooted in delight as she passed over a large stone bridge.
Children ran around pretending to be a train and making loud hooting sounds. Hoot, hoot! Just before the train reached Stockton, horses using the nearby road decided to race little Loco and show the world that horses were faster. Our plucky locomotive was worried. She had 600 people to carry, but horses only had 16. I must do my best, she thought. I must be a fast and strong locomotive.
So she puffed and blew out her chimney, her wheels turning, sparks flying. George the genius stuck and shoved coal at the front, and talented Timothy waved his flag from the back, shouting, "Go, little Loco, go!" The horses and locomotives were neck and neck, but just then the horses started to tire. Little Loco pushed forward to Stockton. She had won the race. "Victory!" cried the passengers after straightening their hats.
"Nay," snorted the horses. "She's too fast for us."
George the genius wiped the smut off his face. He shouted, "Well done, boy lass," and patted her on the side of her boiler.
At the end of the day, George the genius went to a party in Stockton's town hall with the band and some of the passengers. George was tired and he fell asleep in his dinner.
Harold the horse was tucked up in his stable with a bag of hay, but he was so tired he fell asleep in his dinner too. As he snored, his lips quivered and wobbled. Snort, woo! Snort, woo!
In fact, he sounded like a locomotive, but don't tell him. Talented Timothy got back on board and drove little Loco into the engine shed.
"Did I do well? Am I a useful locomotive?" asked little Loco.
Yes, said Timothy, reassuring her. You were useful and fast. You will always be our number one locomotive.
I couldn't have managed without the help of Harold the horse and all the people who moved Monkey Wagon. The music of the umpa band helped too.
It was teamwork, said Timothy thoughtfully. Difficult jobs are made easy with friends to help you. Little Loco smiled quietly, let out the last of her puff and fell asleep.
It has been a big day for the little locomotive, but tomorrow the hard work will start again.